Hello and welcome to the second episode of Lead Yourself First, the podcast. Today with a very special guest. I have to say, we know each other for a couple of months. I have actually no clue for how much time, but following him on LinkedIn was one of the best decisions I ever made because his posts are funny AF. His writing style convinces you to not only work with him, but also to just get into contact with him because he's a great guy. He is not only doing copywriting for founders, probably CEOs, for everyone actually who needs writing and good copies, but also he has a tool which helps children in kind of a way to not do the same mistakes as we adults do. But I would say, Dmitry, please introduce yourself.
Hello, mate. Thank you very much for having me today. I'm obviously Dmitry. I'm here to talk to my good friend. It's been nearly half a year since we met, to be honest. And speaking about myself, I'm actually a two-times founder. Just as you said, in the first place, I do the copywriting. I help the busy startup founders and CEOs and co-founders with proper copywriting, brand messaging, their positioning on LinkedIn in the first place. And I am also a co-founder of a wonderful startup called Game Analyze. It's a health tech startup here in the Netherlands. I'm in the Netherlands. And we are building a tool that screens kids for vulnerable conditions through a very simple game in only 15 minutes. So we make it work for the parents to understand whether the kid is struggling or not. We give them peace of mind. That's about it.
That's a wonderful mission. That's a very, very wonderful mission. And I think this is also the point why we got into contact back in the days, when I'm not mistaken, because of this tool. Because for me, it was very, very fascinating that you're working like me on prevention, but way back and way earlier in the field. So
exactly. That's what we do. We start with the kids as early as at the age of 5.
Nice.
We know that little kids struggle a lot, but they can't tell their story. We help them do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is work that needs to be supported from my point of view, because I know how hard it is working with adults nowadays, because we are all already kind of shaped. We are all able to reshape and rewire ourselves, but at the end of the day, the earlier you start, the better you become.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Right. So Dimitri, like with everyone I'm having here as a guest, I have a couple of questions, of course, because, I would like always to bring my favorite pillars, modern leadership / self-leadership, as well as mindset and mental well-being, under one big ball, pillow, whatever you want to call it, to combine it with firsthand experience, right? So especially, let's say founders experience, corporate experience, but people who know how to regulate themselves more or less. So, and having you over here is very, very special, because I know you're someone who can do that from everything what I have read, from how all of our conversations. So let me ask you directly my first question to you, right? When it comes to copywriting, and you're doing copywriting for founders as well as everyone who needs it in their voice, which is kind of special. It means you have to lean into their perspective, their view. So tell me, how do you lead yourself in this moment when it comes to copywriting? Because it's kind of special.
It is kind of special. I must say that I've been in copywriting for, I always start pitching myself as a marketing specialist with more than 15 years of experience. But come on, guys, beard is gray. It's nearly 20 years of experience. Anyway, I've been writing for approximately 20 years, and through my journey, I always met absolutely stunning people who were very good at what they were doing, who were very good at their business, but they couldn't tell their own story. They could tell it to their wife, they could tell it to their husband, they could tell it to their friends, but going out in public, having a megaphone next to their mouths and saying what they are busy with was quite a problem. And the thing is that most of these founders, these CEOs, these brilliant entrepreneurs and solopreneurs or whoever, they are the leaders already.
Yeah.
The only tiny thing that they lack is they face hurdles like insecurity. Some of them are really, really shy. So they prefer to do their job in the background. And I won't lie, I've been there myself.
Yeah.
It's been like a bit more than half a year since I started properly writing stories about myself online.
Yeah.
I've had about 2 years of experience, but I was shy to bring it out. And now that I've been through every single step of the journey, today I'm very happy with the way I am presented.
Mm-hmm.
I'm my own best client. This is the mindset that I'm trying to present my clients, my partners, my friends, because most of my clients become my friends pretty fast when they understand that we're doing it for a good reason.
Yeah.
And it could also bring them a bit of cash. Oh my God, don't get me started. So you know how it works. I try to tell them that, guys, you only need me to listen to your voice, get your story, explain it to you how to make your story work in a very simple, very short way, and you're good to go. And you're flying and so on. So that's about it. I'm not sure, May, whether I answered your question or not, but that's the way I felt.
I think you did. I think you did amazingly, because for me, what I heard about it was actually you're not just a copywriter, you're also kind of educator, you're kind of a coach, because at the end of the day, I remember just when you said half a year ago, or whenever you really started to understand your own voice, because it happened to me too, right? So it just takes a lot of reps in order to go there. So, and at one point you don't care anymore. So you just go for it and let other people think and speak about you however they want. Either there are people who want you or not. So
exactly. It comes from the experience. I don't know, maybe it comes with age. I'm not sure.
Might be.
At the same time, the moment you understand that you are ready to tell your story in public, and the moment you understand that people are ready to listen, which in some cases is very, very important, because I started when I just wanted to write something about myself online. I've had a pretty long period of time when I ditched writing completely.
Yeah.
And I decided that I wanted to tell my own story to myself. I was writing for myself, and I'm still on a daily basis. I'm still writing for myself, and I'm very happy that people are ready to read, ready to listen, and are reacting. Yeah. This is exactly what I help my partners with.
Yeah, like I said, you're not just a copywriter, you're also a coach, an educator who helps others to find themselves at the end of the day. So, and therefore, when you find yourself, when you're questioning yourself, when you start to be honest with yourself, you automatically get more self-awareness, which leads to become more a leader of yourself.
Might sound correct, but the thing is that I think that this type of leadership, of course, it comes from within or whatever you say, but at the same time, I'm trying to make myself seen as a very simple guy.
Yeah.
I'm a simple guy who stands his ground and who can support his own words with his own actions, you know. That's exactly why when we started recording this, I was here 5 minutes before we even began. I promised you to be there on time. I came there on time. If
Yeah,
someone asks me to write something, I write exactly what they are asking for.
yeah,
If someone expects something from me, it doesn't get into my personal space too much, of course, but this is the way it is. You promise and you deliver.
yeah.
I try to think of myself as a self leader, as you call it,
Hmm.
being a simple, approachable human being
Yeah,
who's ready to help, who's there for you, who cares,
yeah,
and whom you could count on.
yeah, yeah. Integrity. You're a person of simple but with integrity. So, and this is something I highly appreciate in human beings. So, no, this is, I think you answered more than I have asked. Absolutely.
Sorry.
No, sorry for that. No apologies, please. No, amazing. So, then, I mean, you have already touched something which I had for my second question because you said leaders, they're having a lot of fears to get out there, right? To show off, to get their own voice out there, right? So when you're writing for others, I mean, there's a lot of pressure coming with that, you know? I mean, pressure from the clients, pressure you perhaps make yourself, yeah. So, and of course, with pressure comes stress, cortisol spikes, and so on. So, how do you deal with the mental well-being part or the aspect of your work?
I think that could be one of the toughest questions to me because, when you're calling me a coach sometimes, I can't agree with you. Sorry, my friend. I'm not coaching
All
anyway.
fine,
I
all fine.
might be closer to an educator. It's a bit different because I've been working in marketing for education for more than 15 years. So I'm
All right.
closer to the educational side of things. But I only practice what I preach and I only teach people what I know myself. And that's the problem. You're asking me about my mental health and mental well-being. I've been places, my friend. I know how to get out of there. And this is exactly why I can tell you the stories about what it feels like to be down there,
Mhm,
to rebuild again from the ground up, from scratch, call it whatever you like.
mhm.
And at the same time, the biggest lesson that I learned only lately, I think it was last year in 2025, because in December 2024, I celebrated my brilliant burnout for a month. In 2025, I was expecting another one, but
Okay,
it wasn't there. It
okay.
didn't happen. You know why? Because I taught myself how to prevent it.
All right.
And the game changing, groundbreaking advice here is block hours for work. You work every day, most probably every other day.
Yeah.
You work sometimes. But when you have 24 hours and you know that you have to get things done, block 2 hours with
Okay.
zero distractions.
Okay.
Work for 2 hours and take half an hour break.
All
The
right.
moment your brain understands how it functions, the moment your brain understands that after these 2 hours of focused work, it will have a break of playing football, reading a book, doom scrolling, I don't care. But it will expect the reward.
Yeah.
And during your break, you will rest.
Yeah.
This is the biggest reward there ever could be. And if you block hours for work, then you block hours for your own rest, health. I don't care how you call it. But if you block those hours, it starts working in a couple of weeks. Not my
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
I won't lie. I was very, 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 very tired last December. But did I have burnout? Not in a single way, because I know how to block hours and I know how to take care of my time, of my brain, and my health.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, you have touched a topic here. blocking focus hours, which I coach in my mental energy management program, right? So because this is a crucial part of it, and I really can recommend everyone exactly the same. Block your focus time and block your breaks in between, as well as a really deep rest afterwards. And then you go fine with that. So there is no burnout possible anymore because your body and your mind will get used to it. So this is a really, really wonderful explanation, or not explanation, but a wonderful tool you're using. And this is a fun fact, right? So there are so many people out there preaching one size fits all lessons, right? But at the end of the day, we are also different, that not everything works for everyone.
That's
So,
correct.
and when I think back what worked after my burnout or my collapse in 2018, what for me, something completely different worked. For me, it was just the big recovery phases after work, for example. So this is how I rest, and I do it with meditation, for example. And yeah, everyone is different, everyone works different. So this is awesome. Wonderful.
Exactly.
Thank you. Then you have mentioned it already in the beginning, your wonderful tour, Game Analyze. So now this is really a question I was waiting for. I want to hear, of course, a little bit more about it, right? So, because at the end of the day, this is, you bring technology and emotional intelligence together, which is kind of unique, at least for children. So, and of course, you want to help them to help themselves, especially the parents. So my question is really, what inspired you to that, right? So, and I mean, there must be a purpose behind that, kind of, I would say. I don't like to assume. So, but yeah, tell me a little bit. What is behind that? What inspired you to that? And how has it influenced your work on this tool in how you work today?
It's a very, very long story. Do you have another 7 hours, my friend? But anyway, at the very beginning of our meeting today, I told you that when I restarted writing
Yeah.
about 6 to 8 months ago, maybe, my first and foremost reader was myself. I was writing for myself. I think that if you know the problem, if you somehow either understand or feel your potential mission in
Mhm.
anything, this is a very good place to start.
Yeah.
I wanted to read proper content. I started writing proper content so I could read it. With Game
Smart.
Analyze, it happened nearly the same way, because about 3 or 4 maybe years ago, I was working in a startup that was busy with building the educational applications for the kids.
Okay.
Education for the kids, applications, right?
Mhm.
So once my soon to become co-founder came up to me, who was part of the team, obviously, and said, you know what? I think that we could track behavioral patterns of the children through the games. I was like, whoa, okay. I don't care. I'm not a technical specialist. I'm not a medical specialist. I don't care. But the thing is that at the base of it all, there are 3 grown-up guys,
Mhm.
co-founders in Game Analyze, who were undiagnosed with ADHD as we were kids.
Oh,
We
okay.
are all in our 40s, and we all of us still have problems with our parents, because our parents still don't understand us. And as the kids of the 80s, mate, don't get me started.
Oh.
So when we talked to several friends of ours, namely the doctors and behavioral analysts,
Mhm.
they told us that the problem was still there. It's been
Yeah.
years and years and years and dozens of years and decades, but the problem is
Mhm.
still there. Parents still don't understand whether their kids are fine or not. The kid
Yeah.
is running around, breaking down the walls. Is it okay? or did he or she try to tell me something through this kind of behavior?
Yeah. Mind blowing.
Absolutely. So the moment my technical co-founders told me that we could try and track kids' behavioral patterns through the game, they built an MVP in a couple of weeks. We gave it to the kids, and mind you, it's a very simple hyper-casual game. It can be played on any phone, on Android, on iOS, everywhere. The kid taps the bubbles released by a tiny kitten. That's it. But we understood that through our application, we could understand whether the kid has struggles or not. Whether the kid is struggling with the focus, with the reaction, with the attention span, etc.
Okay.
That was a moment when it all began.
Okay.
Well, we decided to launch our own company. I can say that we're still very, very early, very, very young, whatever, but we've been through three stages of research. We've tested our application on more than 300 kids.
Oh, wow.
And well, we are talking in January 2026. In a matter of weeks, we're launching into the next step of our research with a local university here in the Netherlands. And our application is sitting at 88% of accuracy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And from scratch, that's quite a figure. And to me, who always doubts, who's not sure to see these figures from scratch, 88% of accuracy, it was absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So we really hope that our application will help test the kids for their struggles in a matter of minutes, but in a fun and engaging way, because it's a game.
Yeah.
The kid doesn't have to be taken to the doctor, to the hospital, to the medical institution, to wait there for hours in a queue, to then be tested for hours, going through all the questionnaires by a specialist wearing a white robe. The kid can sit at home on a sofa and play a game for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And the parents understand whether the kid is fine or not. That's it.
True.
This is actually our mission. We're trying to help kids have a great time during testing.
Yeah.
Help parents to understand the kid as fast as possible, to track the behavioral patterns of the child and understand whether the kid is struggling or not. And of course, given the current situation in the European Union, with all the queues, with lack of doctors, we really, really, really want in the future to help the healthcare systems. Because when I talk to local doctors, I say, guys, the only thing that matters, less people in your office, more patients at the same time. And a couple of them said, whoa,
Makes sense, huh?
It makes sense, you know. So I can't wait for our soft launch. It's there in a matter of weeks. I've definitely write about it everywhere.
Nice.
Then my co-founders take over Facebook. We'll see how it goes. We're taking it very slowly, step by step. The processes are very long, and we really, really, really want to keep helping people. That's at the core of it.
Love that. Love that. Thank you very much. No, this is, I mean, from my side, this is very, very supportable. And I hope everyone who's watching, who tuned in today and watching it, please support Dmitry and Game Analyze with their tool, because it will definitely help everyone. Especially, we need to think about our kids. I have none, but who knows? The kids are the future of our planet. So let's help them in the early stages, because over there everything starts. And I can absolutely agree with you, because I'm a child or a kid of the 80s, and sometimes talking with my mom is also not the easiest, but I think over the years we have gotten quite a nice relationship. Anyway, I can relate. This is no, Dimitri, thank you very much. I mean, this was a very, very sweet conversation today.
Thank you.
I haven't had any expectations, to be honest, but I knew from all of our conversations before, from all your posts, from everything you're doing on LinkedIn, that this could just have become a very good episode. So thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me, mate.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. Thank you very much for sharing your story, for answering my questions, and all the best of luck with your product launch. If I can help you, you know, in order to little organic reach here, somewhere here, you know, just let me know and I will be there for you. And yeah, thank you very much to everyone who tuned in today and have a wonderful day. See
Thank
you in the
you.
next episode.
See ya.
Ciao, ciao.